Hi everyone, we are back again. This is part 5 of the Dietetic Internship application process. And in this recording, I'm going to talk about sessions and coursework. This follows the entry of your colleges attended. I'm going to go through some images and some points, and then I will navigate to the sessions and coursework section and actually enter some classes so you get a chance to see that. In general, this is, well, specifically, you will only be entering DPD courses. So this is why it's very important for you at this point to have with you at your disposal both an official transcript and your DPD course list from your program. You will click on the college, and my suggestion is, since they ask you to enter these chronologically, start with the very first DPD course that you took, even if it was psychology that you took as a high school student, even perhaps, or maybe a basic nutrition course that you took your very first term in college. But go chronologically and begin. You will add sessions only for terms where you took DPD courses. So if you had a term where you took an English composition course, a world history course, and a women's studies course, you would not enter that session because most typically those are not DPD courses. So that's quite common to have some terms where there may only be one DPD course, others where there are none, and then as you move closer to the end of your DPD program, you might have 3 or 4 DPD courses in one term. You'll enter them chronologically. You will use the course name, the grade, the units, exactly, and the course number exactly as they appear on your transcript. It is okay to abbreviate if there is not enough room in the box to enter the full course name, but try to make the abbreviation make sense so that it's obvious to the reader what it is that you're shortening. It is common to shorten a course name because it doesn't fit. Just get someone else's opinion to make sure that how you shorten it actually makes sense. If you are on quarters, there are times when DICAS will enter the names of the terms alphabetically. So it's possible that while fall might be first, spring might follow, and then winter might follow that. That's a glitch in DICAS. I believe they have it remedied, but if by chance your spring quarter appears before your winter quarter, don't worry about that. Program directors are well aware of it, and they understand that there's nothing that you can do as an applicant to change that. What about retaking a class? And I will get into the details of this more when we're actually entering a class, but here's where my advising kicks in. I strongly recommend that if you get a C- or lower in a DPD course, that you retake it. Either retake it at the university where you are currently enrolled, or retake it during the summer at a community college if it's a lower division class where there's an equivalent at a community college, or even retake it after you've graduated. We have a large number of Cal Poly students, most specifically who retake general chemistry or microbiology or cell biology, because those are some of the most challenging classes in the curriculum, and they take them early on, freshman year usually. So that's just a recommendation. Beyond that, if you're getting ready to submit your application in a couple of weeks and you haven't done that, then my best advice is, as you communicate with the programs that you're interested in, ask them if that's something that might make a difference in your consideration. Because realistically, if a program starts in the fall, it might be possible to retake a class this summer if that would make a difference to the program director. So put that in the hands of the program director. It shows them that you are really concerned and are open to the idea of retaking a course to improve your performance. And so when in doubt, ask about it. But the general advice I give to my students is to retake it. There is a point, again, I'll show you when we get to that page, where you'll see what's known as the special classification menu. For most of you, you will, and for most classes, you will choose not applicable. I would say the most common option under special classifications is advanced placement. And most commonly, the classes that I see students get advanced placement credit for are usually psychology, sometimes chemistry, sometimes math, sometimes biology. Again, those are DPD courses. You may have other advanced placement credit, but because you're only entering in DPD courses, you would only choose advanced placement if it was a class you took in high school, you scored high enough on the advanced placement exam to receive college credit for it, and you have credit for it on your transcript. When you get down to the grade portion, you will simply choose pass if you've chosen advanced placement, because typically they don't give you a grade associated with that. Some of you may also have been involved in an honors program, and so you might take an honors version of a particular DPD course if it's also maybe a general ed class. So choose honors if that's appropriate. The others are somewhat more unusual college level exam preparation or program, I think, is the CLEP. That's where you can get college credit by taking an exam on a particular topic. You can, the Regents exam is unique to the state of New York, and the others are less common. So again, ask your own program director if you have further questions about some of those details. Let's go to DICAS and see how this looks in reality. So we're going to go, we've already entered colleges attended. I'm going to choose now sessions and coursework. And you can see I've experimented with some courses that I've added. Let's first add a new session so you can see what that looks like. Let's add, I don't have spring quarter 2010, so let me go up here and choose add new session. It's going to be at Cal Poly. Again, in your instance, you would choose the appropriate DPD school or other school where you may have taken DPD courses, but I'm going to choose Cal Poly. At that point, I think I was a junior, so I'm going to choose junior. The term is going to be spring. And the type, this is very important. This is where you indicate whether you are on quarters, semesters, trimesters, or whether you are receiving a unit. There are some programs where you earn units as you progress through the program, and you may not be on a term type of schedule. Again, most commonly quarters and semesters, but you may have a trimester. You may also be earning units as you complete things, not always, what's the word I want? In other words, you may get 1 unit for something you're going to do over the next 2 weeks, and you may simultaneously be working on another 2-unit project that's going to complete in 4 weeks. And so they're not always aligned the way quarters and semesters are. So we're going to choose here quarters because that was how Cal Poly was. I think I said the year, I hope I remember. I think I said it was 2010. You'll know when you're doing it, because you're going to have your transcript and your DPD course list right in front of you. And I'm going to say that the course was completed. If it's planned in progress, that's a course you're entering right now, or a course you're going to take in a term that's coming up sometime between now and when you complete your program. So most of your classes will fit in the completed category. I'll say save that term. And then now I have it, and it shows spring quarter 2010. I was a junior, and I'm going to say that the course was completed. So here we're going to enter in the title, and I'm going to say maternal and child nutrition. That's a typical junior level course that our students would take. The course prefix is FSN, and the number is 310. And I know that by heart, but again, you would want to double check with your transcript. This is where it becomes important if you have repeated a class. Most of the classes you enter, you will say, no, this course was either not a repeated course or was the final attempt of a repeated course. So if you had taken this class previously and maybe you got a D in it, and then you were retaking it, you would be entering it here as the final attempt. If, on the other hand, I got that low grade in this particular session in spring of my junior year, and I said, yes, this course was repeated at this institution, and this was not the final attempt, that means I'm going to be entering in this class probably the following term or the following year, and hopefully with a better grade. That's important. So for now, I'm going to say no, this course was not repeated. This happens to be a lecture-only course, but you can see in the drop-down box that you have options to choose lab only, lecture only, lab and lecture combined. This would be where you get one grade, even though the course may have a lab component and a lecture component. Some courses you enroll in the lab and the lecture together, but you get a lab grade that is posted to your transcript, and you get a lecture grade also posted to the transcript that you would enter individually. But if this was, for example, my Fundamentals of Foods course or my Food Service Operations course where we work on quantity food production, there was both lab and lecture, and I would indicate lab and lecture combined. But for this class, lecture only is the choice. At Cal Poly, the number of credit hours, and you'll see that on your transcript, happens to be 4, and the grade type is a letter grade. There are some universities that use a numeric system for applying a grade, and if you have a numeric grade, most often if you turn the transcript over, there will be a guide for how you convert that numeric grade to a letter grade. So refer to that, or again, go back to your program director and get clarity about how to enter in that numeric grade as a letter grade. And then here, I look at my transcript, I see that I got no, probably not an A. Let's say I got a B+ in that class. And again, this is exactly as it appears on the transcript. And then you'll see that it fills in the DICAS grade for me because I had a letter grade. It will also automatically give me that same grade for my DICAS grade. And it calculates or tells me the numeric value of that B+, which is a 3.3. Then I look on my DPD course list, I choose DPD Professional Course, and I look at special classifications, and in this instance, I will choose not applicable because I took this at my university. It did not involve any of these other options. And so I will go here, I will choose not applicable, and I'll say save. It will take me back to my coursework page. And now I can move on. If I have another course to add spring quarter of 2010, then I would click here and say add course, and then I'll proceed to add that course. I don't know if there's anything else I can say about that. You will, again, only enter DPD courses. So if you took some general ed courses at community college before you got to a four-year university, and they were only general ed and none of them counted towards your DPD requirements, then you can leave the college listed, but you don't have to add a session and you don't have to add any coursework. Now, let me go back to my slides. I don't think there was anything else I needed to say about that. Probably the key thing is when you add the session where you're going to add classes, remember to identify if it was a quarter or a semester or a trimester or one of the other options that was there. Here's the other nice thing that they've added this year that's new. You can click here to preview your DPD GPA, and it will actually show you, it'll break it out according to your DPD science GPA. You can see how you're doing there. Your DPD professional GPA, based on the information that you've put in, and your DPD total. I wasn't necessarily that good of a student. I'm just picking good grades because I like to. So this is a nice preview screen that is useful to see how you're doing as you're going forward, adding in classes. Let's go back. I don't think I had another slide for you, but let's make sure. Nope. So that's the best information I can give you about adding courses. Get them directly from your transcript, using your DPD course list as a guide so you know if they're science or professional. Enter them accurately, double check. We want them to correspond with your transcripts, and keep working, and I will be back with the next section soon. Thank you.